Short Story by Lichner is a longer piece than we've had before. It's in ternary form, ABA plus a coda, a little tail piece at the end. It's an expressive piece, the first piece with extended, graduated dynamics, that is, crescendos and diminuendos written in the music. The left hand in the first section, the A section, is an Alberti bass and needs to be played softly. With a slightly stronger bass note, usually played with the fifth finger, but very soft in between notes. Take great care to check that the second chord is a dominant seventh, not a dominant. The second chord, the first chord is the second chord. It's easy for children to play a dominant chord there. So listen carefully, both when it's being played left hand alone and when it's being played hands together, that the finger two is playing an F. In bar 3 we have a leap of an octave and 1. Very difficult for small hands. Practice just that ninth, which can't be quite legato, but we don't want to play it softly and come off gently. Then practice leading into it, or practice just the leap plus the next few notes. In the next phrase, bar 6, 7, 8, listen to the bass notes. The C, B, A, G. We need to hear them clearly as a strong bass. B section, the left hand is quite different. It's little patterns of scales. I think of these as waves, starting softly, peaking over the top, and then getting softer. There we have a leap of 2.5 octaves. The critical thing is to be looking at where you're going to arrive. So as you're playing the C high up here, don't be looking at the C and then have to look. As you play the C, you need to be looking at where you're going to go. You could practice going further than 2.5 octaves. Take it down another octave. Start an octave higher. Or an even octave higher. Be looking to where you're going to go, then reduce it back down to the 2.5 octaves, always looking where you're going to go. Then lead into it, still looking ahead, add a note, add a note, the whole little scale. Bar 14, 15. 15 is forte, so 14 now, instead of dying away at the top, is going to continue getting stronger. So this lovely little curly bit with the round the D, the dominant of the dominant, we're now in G major, is lovely and strong. Bar 21 to 22. Listen that legato is maintained. It's very easy to play. But we need practice from the G just going to the E, or the G just going to the C, beautifully legato, and then the G to the C and E as a Then we have, there are two issues with bars 22 and 23. First is getting the notes. We've got a lot of chords here. So practice the chords just as seesaws from the first chord to the second chord, the first chord to the second chord. Notice how the two relate. Middle C is common to both chords. First we have finger 5 on middle C, then we have the thumb on middle C. Then go from the second chord to the third chord. All the notes go up by 1. Each note goes up by 1. The next, and seesaw backwards and forwards. The next one is very awkward in bar 23 to find that chord. But again, seesaw backwards and forwards. Note that the top finger goes up by a third, the bottom finger goes up by a single note. And then from that dominant 7th chord to the home chord, the C chord. So seesaw backwards and forwards. And then the rests are very important. So having learnt the notes, got fluent passing from one chord to the next, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Coming off very cleanly, 1, off, play, off, play, off, play, off, play. When you get to bar 24, again, don't pop off the chord. It's a repeated C, but it needs to be as legato as possible. And then a very balanced hand for this scale. Keeping the hand very still, tucking the thumb under neatly, keeping the hand level, not tilting onto the side. Then again, not bumping this repeated C, play it very legato. Balanced hand for control of the sound. The right hand phrases start on the upbeat. Our first piece with upbeats. So they start a little bit lightly on the 4th beat of the bar, 2 quavers. Again, we start on the upbeat. So here in bars, the end of bar 2 to 3, we want a crescendo followed by a diminuendo. So practice first the crescendo on its own, starting softly, grow to there, lift the 5th finger for a big strong sound. And don't worry about the diminuendo. For now, just think of the crescendo. And then as a separate item, practice the diminuendo. Lifting the finger and squeezing for a strong sound. A smaller lift and an even smaller lift. At the end of bar 6 leading into bar 7, there's a finger change. Take great care, it's a 2, 3, 1, and that 1 enables one to lift off and to play a big strong 4th finger on the G on this syncopated note on beat 2. It's a strong note. Then we go into the middle section, which is in 3rds in the right hand and then in 6ths. Now, first of all, it's the coordination. Not. Try practicing. Lots of fingertip movement to get the independence of the fingers moving well. Then, having got that, there's the finger change. So the first, this chord, the D and the F, are played with 1 and 3, and then repeated with a 2 and 4. So just practice 1, 3, 2, 4. One could practice changing the fingers. Then there's shaping these thirds, the upbeat to there, and then this, we've got 4 repeated Ds and Fs. We don't want them all to be the same. The critical thing is to play the second beat, the second chord, softly. Now softly. And then we can grow through the rest of the bar. The same with our 6th. Light on the upbeat to the first beat, and then go soft and more. With practicing the 6th, I would do lots of just the 5th finger, lots of just the thumb, and then together. In bar 14, 15, we have chords, big chords, and we have rests. So be quite clear. Start off legato at the end of 14. That pair of chords is legato. Off. Off. Practice just the top note. Those are the notes we want to hear. Again, seesaw the first 2. Seesaw. Seesaw. One, off, play, off. We then return to the A section with a couple of extra notes. Extra note, extra note. And here's one more extra. Extra note. And here's our little coda. Now we've got this beautiful crescendo up the hill and over the top, and a diminuendo down the other side. Again, I would practice just the crescendo on its own, and then just the diminuendo on its own. So practice just the crescendo until one's starting really softly and ending good and strong with a smooth crescendo up it. And then as a separate thing, practice the diminuendo. At the end of the diminuendo, we've then got a crotchet, a full crotchet. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. And on these last 2 chords, as indeed at the top of the page on bars 15 and 16, start to think about singing the top note of the chord. Practice. Or so you play 1 is strong and then the other one is soft. The inside notes are soft. When learning hands together, the balance is quite tricky. There's a lot of left hand, a lot of quavers in the left hand in the A section, the Alberti bass, and they need to be played softly. We don't want to have... We need soft left hand. And then every 4th bar, we need both hands to lift exactly together. So, first practice just coming off, never mind about starting the next bit. So we've come off a little bit before beat 3. And that happens at bar 4, bar 8, bar 16, bar 20. Both hands lift, and then the right hand starts the upbeat. And when playing hands together, extra attention will be needed for the rests in bar 15. And the rests in bars 21, 22 and 23. Imagine that 2 notes are being played accompanied and 2 are unaccompanied. 1,